What is going on, guys? It is Venom Search here, and welcome back to another episode of Crazy Craft. As you can see, our base has made a few more upgrades since the last episode. So last episode, we had gotten ourselves the Royal Guardian gear, and after testing, the boots do allow me to basically float like that, but that also affects me flying. So if I want to fly as a baby dragon and then I want to go down, it's slowing me. So I basically been walking around with them off so I can jump and everything. But as you can see, I made a new room and I need to replace that. Back here is where we're going to be checking out a new mod. Currently, we got the equipment to kill the Keen. Well, after doing some research, apparently he drops every single item that's modded in the game. That's a lot of items, and I'm gonna collect them all. How to do this, you may be thinking. So, one of the mods is called Applied Energistics 2. So, they have a very confusing and high-tech storage system where basically you access one interface. Let's pretend it's actually kind of similar to the transmutation table. You just access the interface, but it acts as an unlimited chest. You just need to keep adding storage devices into these ME drives here. You can just keep adding storage hard drives basically into it. It's a computer, and it'll just extend the amount of stuff you can store. That requires a lot of power, like electricity, to control, which is why I got this set up. But the thing is, this won't last the entire time. As you can see, they start to die out. So that's not a good option. It's a lot of generators to go through, and I'm using this as fuel. A single diamond per thing, or a stack of diamonds per generator. So that's not gonna work. We want better fuel options. So we are going to take a look into the mechanism mod. In here, you can get advanced and get yourself a nuclear reactor. Now, I have done this quite a while ago, like a year ago or two, so I don't entirely remember all the stuff, but I know what to expect. I won't lie to you guys. But we're going to do that first. When we do that, we can get rid of this annoying setup. We can have a big reactor going. That, hopefully, the idea will infinitely power our ME system. So originally we were using the iron chests, which is basically a double chest. I've upgraded some of them to obsidian, so like this one was filled, and this one was filled, and this actually gets filled up pretty much too. Now I did add 2 mods. I realized they were not in this mod pack, and they are life changers. One of them is Inventory Tweaks mod. It adds these buttons that automatically sorts the stuff how you want it. And it does things where, like, if I were to be placing down a block and I run out, if there's more in my inventory, it'll automatically move it for me. So easy stuff for that. But I also added mouse tweaks, which allows me to do that. I would usually have to click every single one of them, but now I can just hold down my mouse and just throw them in. We are rich, by the way. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at what I have done. So I've moved most of the stuff that was over here back into there. Once these generators are run out, I am gonna get rid of these, and we'll hide all this ugly stuff. I have made a personal chest. This acts like a shulker box. So I'm just throwing my mechanism stuff in here, and it can go into there. Underneath of here, we do have a freaking giant battery bank that's being filled up as we go. so we hopefully won't run out of power. So the first thing we need to do is make a chunk loader. So these actually do exist in here, and look how easy that is. I mean, we can make that right now. So now we have our chunk loader. So the way this works, I ran into an issue in the past with the nuclear reactor. Basically, the reactor relies on having constantly made fuel so it can run. If you run out of fuel, the reactor dies. Now, I don't know if it can explode, but it hasn't exploded in my experience, so that's good. But we want to make sure that this area is going to be properly chunk loaded. Of course, I chose the one spot where we have that going. So we'll pop that there, and we hit show later lasers. So this shows the chunk. This whole room is loaded. And this whole room is loaded. My cow farm will keep going. Yeah, I'd say that's actually pretty good. The next thing we're going to do is work on getting that nuclear reactor set up. So the first thing we need is a thermal evaporation center set up. So to do this, we're going to need one of the first tools you can make. So Mechanism has a lot of stuff like an electric bow. This is actually a very nice thing. It has vein miner, so I would like to get that later when we're able to. But first we need the configurator. So we make the energy tablet, and then we make our configurator. So we do have wireless charger that'll help charge this, but basically we can use this configurator to decide if we want to pull energy from this, don't even interact with the block, just normal, or push energy into this. So now you can see it's storing energy. So this will help a lot when it comes to making our thermal evaporation center. So guys, the thermal evaporation block is made of steel and copper. The valve, we just use a circuit, it'll show here, advanced control circuit, and then advanced control circuits with this stuff. If you end up hearing beeping in the background, one of our fire alarms just got a low battery, and it might get cut like right there, right into the dialogue, so can't do much about that, but I'll try to talk in between it so you guys don't hear it too often. Okay guys, so we got the main materials here. Now we are going to need advanced solar panels right here, solar generator. So that's made with this recipe here, made with this, and then this. It's a very annoying process that I'll have to go through, but you guys don't get to sit through that. Okay guys, so this is enough solar panels for one evaporator. We need two, so double that. Okay, so now that you got your 8 solar generators that are the advanced ones, now we have to find a desert biome. Or a jungle, which could work, but deserts are better. Okay guys, so we found ourselves a desert biome. Now this is, because it's Crazy Craft, we have one of the main themes, the scorpions here. What you need to do in the desert biome though, find a nice big area, but you need to make sure this is considered a desert. We're gonna grab our materials here, start out with a 4x4. Then from this, we're going to build up here, but leave a 2x2 hollow. And this is going to be built up 17 blocks, including the bottom layer. So guys, this is the nice thing about inventory tweaks. Look at my block count. I'm at 1 left. It took from my inventory, put it down into my hotbar. So this is the 17th layer. Up on the very top, we're gonna add in another layer except for the corners. Then we throw in our advanced solar generators. Just like that. Then we're going to add another one to it, right next to it. I'm having about 5 blocks in between just in case. So with these solar panels, they have to be on the corners here. I don't know if the rotation matters, but it has to be on top. This is the 17th block, it has to be on top, and you don't need to hook up anything like this. It recognizes that this is its own structure. Once it's set up fully, we're gonna come back down here. We're gonna take out our thermal evaporation controller and our thermal evaporation valve. We're going to put in 2 little poke holes here. So the poke holes, we have an input and an output. It starts here, we'll have a water hole here, goes in, it evaporates, comes out, goes back into here, comes out, and then we'll do some extra stuff to it. If this lights up, that means we did something right. If you have a block missing or it's too tall, which can be a problem, you can go shorter to an extent, but it doesn't work as fast or as much. So 17 is the maximum you can possibly go. It'll work quicker and hold more. It'll be black if there's something wrong. It'll have that redstone effect, and this will light up if everything is correct. So it looks like both of these are working. In here you can see the temperature. Down here you can convert it to Celsius, R, Fahrenheit, STP, or K. This has to be at a certain temperature to properly function. As you can see here, this bottom is the temperature. On the left we have 2 different liquids, and here you can like put in liquids if you have a bucket or something. Now this runs on solar panels. It is nighttime. We have no production, mainly because we also have no actual liquids, but we need to pump liquids in there, but it also needs to be day. We're a vampire. We don't have day much in this world. The sun barely gets to be alive during this world. This is where the issue is with the nuclear reactor. I can cure myself, but I don't know if I want to when we're about to do the Keen fight. So I'll end up doing something extra to these things just in case this doesn't get enough sunlight. So we are going to make another thing called the electric pump. It has to be this. It cannot be another water pump. Actually, I think it can be. I don't think there's a requirement there, but we're trying to pump in water into this machine back here. So guys, it just became daytime and I started dying, so I'm going to make a giant ceiling. Now, if you guys don't know, this is the diamond wand. Basically, it takes items from your blocks, from your inventory, and it can tell, like, do you want to place a whole layer across this or across this? Just making your time spent a lot less. It does use durability, and the thing about the wand is The weaker versions have less durability, so you need to be careful about that. Now we have a nice little ceiling, so I don't need to worry. Okay, so it is daytime now. As you can see, this bar is heating up, and this is going to start heating up as well. And as you can see, we are at the maximum height. So while that heats up, we're going to make the electric pump. And we are going to make 4 pumps. Just like that. Now with these 4 pumps, they do require electricity. So we are going to throw in some generators. The next thing we're going to need is a fluid basic mechanical pipe. It's just steel in a bucket. That's a weird noise. So this is currently, looks like 324 was the maximum heat. Maybe that gets hotter over time, I'm not sure. It just became midday and it's starting to go back down. Okay guys, so the green is where electricity comes from. The top is where the water comes from. And underneath here is where it sucks out the water. So we are going to put fluid pipes on each of these. We're going to pump it into here. So we're going to take our configurator, which is actually in my inventory. We're going to tell this to pump into there. We are then going to place an advanced fluid tank underneath. So this is going to act as a buffer. So when these electric pumps are sucking in, if this thing fills up, these things are still sucking and we're wasting power. So it's going to come into here and build up extra water. Once this runs out, it can then also take from this if the amount these are doing isn't enough. We're then going to place our electric cables up here, and I am going to hope 4 Stirling generators is going to be enough. Now when these start, we're going to want them to be going for a long time. This lasts a freaking long time. So if we look at charcoal, it has a burn time of 1600. That basically means, I don't know if you guys can see my calculator here, but that basically means we have one item takes 200 ticks to smelt. This has 112,000 burn time. That means, if you guys can see my calculator, this one piece can cook 512 items. A lava bucket can only cook 100. This is 5 times the amount of lava buckets. And the thing about this is it can come in block form. This can cook 4.6 thousand items. It's expensive, but that means we never have to come back here for a very long time. These octadic capacitors make our burn rate less, and it can generate more RF when we're needing it to. We are then going to take more pipes, the fluid type, and run it from this output into here. And we're going to say pull from this and push into that. And once again, we are also going to put a buffer just in case. So let's see this in action. So we're going to rewind time here. We're just going to grab these and start pumping our energy. As you can see, our generators are actually not keeping up with all of these electric pumps. These pumps can't take a lot of RF. This is already full, but this is slowly filling up with water and turning into brine over time very slowly. So brine is coming through here, it is filling up here, and then in here it is going from brine to liquid lithium. Now we are going to need rotary condensers. So I'm gonna need to probably go back to base to make these 3, but we're gonna need about 3 of them. Should hopefully do the trick. This is going up, which is good, and we're not even close. This is half of our normal temperature that we get up to, so this has a lot more time that it can start going. Okay guys, I was smart this time and I actually brought my infusing stuff with me in case we needed to craft more. So guys, we take our fluid pipes here, and we take our rotary condenser traders and place them just like that. So we take out of this, it's taking the liquid liquid lithium, and we're going to condense this into lithium. So what we're going to do right now, it's coming into this. Since this is the front, we want to reverse. So now it's going to fill up, and then once we get power, it's going to come over here. So we need to do this to all of them. Now the other thing, so all this mechanism stuff, you can upgrade it so it can run faster and run more energy efficiently, which we do want. So that's why I brought these 2 guys with me. These are the base of mechanism. So these are the upgrades of mechanism. You can make it gas, you can muffle the sound so you don't hear it, speed, energy, and then filter, which you apply to gas pumps. So for all this you need to crush up osmium, gold, and steel for the main ones you use. Filter you rarely use. If you take it out, it won't be actual water, it'll be something else, which you don't want. So we're just going to throw out, if you put this on, it'll automatically distribute this nice and easy. You put the upgrades up in this, and it'll slowly move over. You can click on here and it'll tell you the amount it's affecting and how much, and it also tells you down here the compatibility for what types of upgrades. And then we're also going to add an advanced fluid tank right here. Yeah, so this is filling up kind of slowly. That's because this is completely filled up, this is still filling up, and this is still filling up. So when all of these are filled up, this can start filling up as well. Although it is still not the absolute best. This can only fill up 28 MB. The next level is 56, the next level, the best, is 112,000. So, I mean, these things alone are already storing 10,000. So this is about all 3 of these again, and it's actually pretty cheap to make, so. Alright guys, well, I did not get as far as I would have liked in this episode, but this is definitely a good start. Hopefully in the next episode we can get the nuclear reactor going, and then in the future we can start working on the ME system. And remember, the whole reason behind all this is so we can get, oh look at this temperature, that is quite hot. The whole reason of this is that way we can continue getting forward to the Keen fight. That is going to be a major thing, and if we win, we're gonna need all the loot he can give us, especially because it's for free and it is definitely worth it if you can succeed. So like and subscribe if you guys want to see more of this content. It's very rare that we actually see the sun. It's because we're safe. I will see you guys next time.